I won't lie. I kind of thought that I had a lot more time for this. But I don't want to skip the battle. There is a collab that I am a part of later that I thought was much later than it actually is. And I already made the promise that I wanted to finish Spring Cultivation. Part of that will be dependent on my own reading speed.
자, 맞서보죠. 우리들에게 이깟 하루 별것도 아니잖아.
Part of that will be dependent on my own reading speed, as well as also if there is a dungeon at the end of the event.
완벽한 한 방.
I'm hoping that the stats for the training
효과적이네요. 이
influence
방식을 기억하는 게 좋겠어요.
I'm hoping that basically the stats from the training will help out in some capacity of speeding up the fights. That is the only thing I can hope for. If it is a full dungeon, I'm going to lose my mind. I'm doing EXP really quickly, just because I'm hoping I could get like enough that can get like Ryoshu into like its semi-usable state. I'm hoping to at least get her to like 52 or something. Something just so that I can have her like in the back line. Welcome, Kay. It is too early for me to be scared. I've simply already accepted it.
방금 전에는 굉장했다고. 베르게 그 인간도 이건 인정할걸?
떨어지 같은 놈들.
좋아. 내가 알아서 처리. 사냥이 성공적이었네요.
I need these guys to die faster.
사냥을 끝내러 가보죠. 대가리 딱 떼고. 지금이다. 해골바가지 거미 대가리. 자!
Well, morning is a relative term. I consider morning within 2 hours that I awake. I, like... She's fine. I, like, woke up. I did the event in Grand Blue, because it has resources for something that I've been working on. For a weapon that I've been working on. Then I double checked when the collab was. For some reason, I went to sleep last night thinking it would almost be like 3 hours later than it actually is. And I already made welcome, Abby. And I already made the promise that I wanted to do, that I want to finish up Spring Cultivation. She's not gonna get the 50. Even skipping wouldn't be enough. She's not gonna make it, but I can have her in the back line. It'll be fine. Worst comes to worst, I'll deal. Here's hoping that I can rush through this in like 3 hours, 3.5. A terrible jest Jai-Chen plays down to the very last. For some reason, I had to double check and make sure that like my audio was even on. Too much time has passed already. Already given her clan, including Wei, instruction to keep their eyes on the palanquin as they observed much strangeness from the palanquin's bearers. Yet there are many places to which one may have covertly kidnapped the family hierarch. Still, we have to. Your heart is still in a rush. I do not mean to imply that we will abandon her to fate. Look, I've selected a few places on the map with the highest probabilities of being their destination. As the time is not on our side, the Heisho Pact and your team will have to mobilize separately to explore all possible options. Basically, that's an excuse to separate us from the Heisho. Cool, thank you. Among them, I aim to send you toward this place. Indeed, the glorified internment camp of Hongwan, now shut down. Pingong Residential Support Zone. It is policy Jayachin and the former Jaimu pursued. The policy was indefinitely tabled and the zone was closed off as many voiced reluctance to pass it, but I find it hard to believe that Jayachin would admit defeat so easily. It is a secluded place perfect to secretly bring harm to the family hierarch, not to mention the symbolic value it carries. I hope she's okay. Have some faith in your pupil. You have taught her to the best of your abilities, have you not? I trust that she will be able to fend for herself until our arrival. We trained really hard for the entire month. The only reason Jayachin would employ such under-the-table tactics is because she knows that a fair match would not be in her favor. So let us yank her hand out from under the table and make her regret it. Okay, that one thankfully at least a lot faster, which makes me hope that the rest are just normal battles. Or at least a good number of them. Slashing. Yeah, so this is gonna be me and my Heisho pack.
잠깐 의로움을 세워.
어디서?
보는 눈은 있네요. 여기서 저만큼
slashing.
이제야 부르나. 좀.
Actually, because if she dies, that still gives that would actually still give Honglu a bonus, so it's still not too bad. But it's slashing, and I want to have Sinclair in there. He's just gonna have to be in the back line.
일인가요? 현장 일인가요? 일인가요?
It's fine. It'll work.
결집이다.
We heard ourselves along the winding passages of Hongwan. At first I thought we might have been able to move faster had the Mephistopheles been here with us, but walking through the winding irregular paths reminded me of why palanquins were a thing in Hongwan. Already. Upon our arrival to the location Zingok pointed out to us, something emerged from the dark. A figure, no 2, 4, a small platoon of shadows. Damn it, we're surrounded. I was wondering when they were actually going to show up. The shadows slithered into physical form, lapping their purple serpentine arms at us. See a branch of the Heisho packs. They don't belong to the family hierarch. Like, what now? What do you mean, what now? We can't sit here and waste any precious time. Come on, let's fight our way out of this ambush. Isn't that usually my thing to suggest? Fighting's all about morale. Looks like class did have some effect. Sinclair's right, we don't have any time to waste. At the very least, they are recognizing that speed is... like, the moment is urgent.
끝내고 밥 먹으러 가자고.
My 4 Heisho. Give me
숨통 끊기.
a
완벽한
drink.
시원한 걸.
목을 떨궈 주마.
it is funny that, like, I didn't see any of the C in the actual main pronto. But then we still have, like, 2 IDs that are based off of it. Hi, honey. That is, like, the best I can do right now. I am too tired.
엄청난 공격이었어. 기념할 만한걸?
I also maybe was a little indulgent last night. Mostly because I didn't really expect to have to wake up so early. Which makes me really glad that I didn't do something that I was thinking of doing.
이거리는 충분해. 너한텐 멀겠지만.
Yeah, that was the end of post filter. No, it's Rodian first, huh?
이거리는 충분해.
And then she gets another regardless.
멀겠지만. 이제 깨우치시게.
그쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데.
다들 힘이 솟는 것 같네요.
How many are there?
딱 좋겠어요.
11 total. Okay, so there's one more to you here.
모두 다 심어버리죠. 같이
It wasn't an experiment. It's me allowing myself actually like a moment of rest, which turned out to be a mistake. The lesson here, kids, is never to think that you actually have a break when you don't. Honestly, that Ryoshi's doing pretty fine, considering that she's under leveled. Rest is not a mistake, but maybe the chosen mechanism was. You mean sleeping? Like, I was very hierarch rescue operation too. Like, I'm trying to, like, accurately...
좋아. 얼른 끝내고 밥 먹으러 가자고.
Cause like, no, cause I streamed, I was tired, but I still wanted to spend some time with like a couple of friends that I had, who are up regardless. Where's it again? So I spent a little bit of time with them. Then
효과적이네요. 이 방식을 기억하는 게 좋겠어요. 이거리는 충분해. 너한테
I like my brain is so shot. My brain is so shot.
오, 기운이 솟는다, 단테.
I am just tired. I'm tired. I am tired, but I made the promise that I wanted to finish this today. I wanted to finish this today before the collab, so I'm doing that now. Which means that it might be a little messy. As long as there's no dungeon at the end of this, I will be fine. I don't even mind if it's like a normal boss fight at the end of this, I just have to kind of persist.
저거 봐, 쟤 휘청거리고 있다.
Ooh, that's not good. Ooh, she really loses that. What
흑수묘, 뒷박질 춤.
목을 떨궈주마. 정작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이다. 이 몸을 온당히 벌하심에 기꺼이 죄를 받아들이나이다.
사냥이 성공적이었네요.
I really hope I didn't use that too early.
사냥을 끝내러 가보죠.
We'll see in like 3 turns.
정작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이다.
아무튼
도끼를
Oh, Tarnished Blood turns out into...
해충들을 도려내라.
이제 깨치시게.
묘여. 길을 열어라.
turns out all into Unbreakable.
그쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데.
좀 투성이네. 좀 투성이네. 방금 전에는 굉장했다고. 베르게 그
He's fine.
인정할걸?
3 Saki and 1 Tarnished Blood. No, so he has a couple turns, so he's fine.
자, 어느 쪽일지 잘 생각해보라고.
정작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이다.
Can't get to that. Yeah, to that turn if your units hit that. My units will be fine. The big question is if Hong Lu will be fine. Because I also haven't really gotten an opportunity to really experiment with the with how its passive interacts with Tarnished Blood, which has its own special condition for the ID, but then also just gets applied with the ego. They've been slowly becoming more and more like directly intertwined with how the seasonal IDs interact with the effects from the seasonal ego. Before they would just be like very useful, but now these are like interacting passives. Like my idea will open the path. Like my idea from initially, or like my context is always like Captain Ishmael and Blind Obsession, because Blind Obsession does a lot for poise and sanity restoration, which innately does a lot for Captain Ishmael specifically, but it's not like it has a unique passive that interacts with it. It's just very well attuned for it. The adept. But this one has like a very specific passive that only the ID and only the ego have. Even Yearning Miracula, where it's very useful for lust, and it's also used for stacking bleed stacks. But it's not like Manager Dawn. It's not like Manager Dawn's like key passive where her attacks change depending on the other family units she has. Thing I noticed upon entering the room was that it was hot and mucky with the heat of battle. Also evidenced by the corpses of seed branch Heisho widely about the room. Is that... A bloody beast rises ponderously from the ground, its gaze rising to meet ours. Way? His eyes, something's definitely off here. He's not looking at us, Rhodia cuts off abruptly, having to notice that something didn't feel right. Away. Away with you. The hooves intermittently kick the ground with anticipation and aggression. What happened here? Did the Heisho make it into the exam hall? Limbless snakes dare trespass? Your hideous coils. I will crush them to mulch under my hooves. Your way, right? He's completely lost it. I'll ground your filthy scales to dust.
먼저 끝내고 돌아오는 친구는 맛있는 거
That-
사줄게. 물론 회사 카드로.
I'll trample anyone who dares to hurt my lady. I'll trample them to death. Max stacks 3. At turn end gain 2 haste. Stack times 2. Defense level up on turn. On hit with skill, inflict additional tremor potency. So you deal tremor? Tremor and rupture. Wait, what happened? Please. I was wondering why it was Yi-song who got that one. Because you see him as Wei in Ishmael's family hierarch. I do not feel good about this. This is also really bad. I shouldn't have Ryoshu here for this. She's targeted for this too. Oh, this is just a really bad situation. Both of these are favored. I'd rather Ryoshu deal with that. Can I say, hear me out? Is this... That's a lot of damage. He's negative coins, so he has an advantage here. His sanity's only going further down. You can have whatever feelings you want. I'm traumatized, and I really hope that we can turn him back to normal. I don't want this to be how he ends. Unbridled steed. That is a unique sanity. Turn start gain 2 offense up. Fragile. Turn start gain 1 max speed. He's just getting faster. I might need to... +7. That means he's gonna be rolling like 2 higher. I need Trash Head. That's not good. I'm gonna need Cheshet. What is this? Recoiling. Max stack 5. Trigger tremor burst against the wrong target. Every action has equal and opposite reaction. What? Deathrite. Venom. When getting rupture triggered by critical hit from target, lose 1 stack. Oh, he's a full fight. And he works with negative sanity. Ryoshi can't win that. This is bad. This is a really bad situation. I probably shouldn't have brought Ryoshi into this. I really don't want this to be where Wei ends. Parker might just have to block it. I don't want that. Somebody needs to clash with that. No, I need trash hit. Or else that was gonna get way too high. This all sucks. Who's that gonna hit? That's gonna hit Ryoshi. I have to deal with that. If somebody's going to likely die, it'll either be Risol or Ryoshi. I have to deal.
어쩌겠지 잘 생각해보라고.
숨통 끊기. 완벽한 한방. 시원한 걸.
Him working on negative coins while also... That's rough. While also just constantly draining sanity. It's such a rough situation.
다소 지겹고 총알값 아까울 놈은
이런 동료들 상태에 신경 좀 쓰셔야 할 것 같은데요, 관리자님.
He's just going to stay there at negative 45. Prioritize target with least tremor potency. Target does not have potency base -5. The target does not have tremor deal minus 90% damage.
꽈리를 튼 뱀 근처에
What is that?
오지 말랬잖아.
Concussion. When hit, take plus 30% damage for every stack. Max 90. Multiply the amount of stagger threshold raised by tremor burst and rupture. That's new. At max stack consumable to turn in and enter 4 stagger. Cool. Cool. Thank you, Wei. This sucks. No, we need SP. We need SP or else like this is just going to keep getting worse. How's he's struggling on that? It's either hopeless or struggling. And he can't redirect that one. Just deal.
모조리 지워버리죠.
하나 사이를 보내지 마라. 대무릎 꿇고 저 해충들을
이거리는
모여내라.
충분해. 너한텐 조금 멀겠지만.
I thought
사요. 짐승.
모든 결과들은 파우스트가 알아요.
him losing clashes is raising his sanity.
무슨 술수를. 그러니까 거기서
She needs to switch out. She needs to switch out or something bad's gonna happen. This is such a rough fight, like instantly. I need literally as much sanity as I can get. I have to deflect this one. Mare might have a chance with that. Your backup unit, select one Heisha with the least HP. 9, because I just need to beat a 9. But I don't trust him to be able to beat that 9. The tears won't even do anything either. He's getting targeted by 2 skills. He might die here. Okay, then I have to use this.
자, 어쩌겠지 잘 생각해보라고.
이 파도 속에서 움직일 수 있는
Coincidentally enough, Ryoshi's also the only other character that has blind obsession.
이 몸을 온당히 벌하심에 기꺼이 죄를 받아들이나이다.
He's up and positive now.
모든 결과들은 파우스트가 알아요.
Maybe things are turning. I don't want to hope too quickly. I don't want to hope too soon.
이 거리는 충분해. 너한테는 멀겠지만.
뭐
And then it activates.
상념으로 맑은 하늘 가리고 이 한 몸 바쳐 땅으로 모든 피 쏟아내리. 지나온 길을 생각하면 이 또한
어우, 단테
걸어야만 하는
고생해.
길이겠지.
Okay. That... He's at least in a positive, so I have to stick with this now. Like, I absolutely need to stick with this, and I need to keep pressure up. What is targeting result? That one. If I can redirect that, or at least deal with redirecting that. Then Result's free to do whatever he wants now. Favored, neutral, favored. That's also less skill. I'll have to make that work. That one's targeting her. Is this being targeted by anything? No. Otis can take the damage, it's fine.
모조리 지워버리죠.
Like, I don't want...
모든 걸
I have to deal with Lord of Hongwan being dead. Like, we're too deep into this fight and his sanity is too high. I can't turn back now. But like, if something catastrophically bad happens again, like that almost did,
전력으로 상대해봐. 정탄격발.
이것이
Concussion as a status ailment is really nasty.
예측대로군. 뭔가 싸한데. 이게 이번 몸으로 들이쉬는 마지막 숨이 될지도.
Mad Steed's Void Render. Deal plus 1% damage for every 1% missing HP on self, max 80. For attack, a 50% or less HP gain plus 2 attack weight. Before attack, if this unit does not have Strider Woo, the skill. Cool. Do you have Strider Woo on? You do, and it's max 3. I'm tired. I don't want to deal with that. And I need everybody's sanity to still be high. That's... I don't like a lot of these. I don't like this situation. He's close to a stagger point. He's close to stagger. The closer I can get him to stagger, then I'll use another one of the skills. I need him to keep rolling heads. Paralyze is very bad, actually. I don't want him using that. So I can't use sinking either. Like, I just have to I have to use rupture and tremor. More rupture. Mersault's rupture count is so high. I don't care what they say. I don't care what they say about the unbreakable coins. When you start putting status ailments on the unbreakable coins, like, no, that's you increasing difficulty. On hit, trigger tremor burst and reduce target tremor count by 1. Like... Mersault gets hit once, he's just going to die. On top of the fact that rupture triggers when you get hit, unbreakable coins, broken or not, when the attack goes through, you're still taking a fuck ton of damage. Oh sweet, I could deal with a 10 or an 11. this. Because the paralyze. Having Otis on this team is actually really bad. Wow, this sucks. I can't. I don't want to apply sinking either, so like she has to use. This situation sucks. I'm better off with Gluttony. She might be better off with just Hex now. Bleed, curse, no. I don't like this.
내가 찾은 나만의 합의 방식.
Please don't make me have to kill way through this.
전력으로 승리해봐. 전탄격발.
여행에는 목적이 있었지.
Please.
금방 끝내고 버스로 돌아갈 수 있겠다.
How close are you to a stagger threshold? Like 200. Whatever. And 2 characters got staggered. Mersault's just going to die. If he's going to die, he can at least. I'm gonna make sure that he at least does something. Please don't tell me those both target Gregor. They both do. And that one targets Rodian.
흑수무 뜀박질 춤. 숨통 끊기.
1362.
수많은 것들이 옥죄어 온다.
Yeah, and then that rupture for 55.
시계 돌리셔야겠어요, 관리자님.
1235. If I deal 30 damage, he will be staggered. So many people are close to concussed. One less gluttony, 2 pride. Okay, she's fine on that. Like, she's not going to... So in that case... Because this is also slashing. If Ryoshu ends up being the MVP out of this, it's gonna be really funny. Actually, how much tremor do you have? None. Cool. I need to deal with each of these gimmicks. Each one that's like a major gimmick. These last few ones I'm kind of just winging. For Curse Talisman Inflict. These last few ones I'm kind of just winging because I'm really hoping that he'll stagger before then.
항상 지켜보고 있었지.
Perfect.
모든 결과들은 하우스트가 알아요.
그쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데.
이 수많은 소원들 중 그대가 이루고 싶은 소원은 무엇인가?
She hit negative on both of those. Crazy.
금방 끝내고 버스로 돌아갈 수 있겠다. 그치?
Please don't die here, Wei.
직접 나서지.
Really hoping.
모든 걸 걷어들일 순 없었어.
For 29. 392. 368. 256.
그래요. 그렇게 가만히 있어요. 상처는 고기는 맛없으니까. 뭔가 싸한데. 이게 이번 몸으로 들이쉬는 마지막 숨이 될지도.
No, I need that to win. You cannot trust what it says about winning or losing. I have to hope that this turn kills.
어느 쪽일지 잘 생각해보라고.
모든 결과들은 파우스트가 알아.
117.
무상한 목숨. 불끈의 지원일 뿐.
69. 31.
자, 빌어보세. 이 돌이 기꺼이 그대에게 가서 맡기를.
11.
과연
깔끔하게 물었군.
Are you alright? My lady, she's in there. Please, you must. Listen, buddy, you're not looking so good. That nasty wound Lei Hang gave you starting to bleed again. It reopened? Still, after a month, it's still that bad? Shai Shichin's Heisha will be here soon. Stay here and wait for their arrival. Don't you worry about a thing, Mr. Wei. Shichin's gonna be just okay. Totally. Did you already forget who taught her? If only she hadn't chosen me then. She could have achieved such heights. She could have risen much higher than where she now stands. Wei's eyes shook restlessly, lost in the streams of past. Though you know this already, Mr. Wei, Shichin became the hierarch to transfer Hongwan into a nest that serves its lowest. Okay, he's not dead, thank God. But also, wow, that's kind of an annoying fight.
이걸로 이번 죽음과 결별할 날도 머지 않았나?
Gregor,
마지막까지
Rodian,
사용하시는 것 같으니
Ryoshiu,
미련은 없겠다만.
and Faust all ended up doing the most damage. And I cleared the EX? What was the EX? Within 15 turns. Damn. You motherfucker. That one cost 0. It was you, your big sister Yanshin's final exam. If you're gonna kill me anyway, why didn't you just take me out from the get-go instead of wasting all that time teaching me, pretending to be my master? I would hardly deem the hours spent in joy as waste, would you? Well, I'm not even surprised. Dagon 1's full of backstabbers anyway. Do not ever trust anyone who approaches you first. It is a saying that has saved a lot of lives in Hongwan and the city. Normally those types of people wait until my guard is down to strike. You had plenty of opportunities to kill me during those classes. I gotta say, I forgot a bit of my edge when I was swinging those sticks. The one who hired me handed me, along with my payment, a silken bag of dried wolfsbane powder. So you were hired to poison me, why didn't you? Why would I use that to claim my pupil's life when I could use it to pay off my tab and buy me a few bottles of quality wine at a local casa? Which I did. They're precious enough to sustain 3 generations of family, eh? My life, has thus far been one of rivers and footpaths, drifting hither and thither as the currents took me, a meaningless life of having gained nor left behind nothing. And wouldn't you know, this kid who just became the next hierarch, for the first time in the history of family hierarchs I'd seen, refused the true master of Hongwan. Those with vision for the future of Hongwan would grip the land as though it belonged to them. And Hongwan, trapped in the grasp of a series of intrepid individuals, grew dark and suffocating. The other pupil, who initially seemed to have been included in the lessons as nothing more than an extra, may as well have forced the lessons out of me. And after a while of frolicking with the bumbling hierarch in a particularly nasty pupil, it seems that I shared all that I know with the both of you. Hey, despite the present circumstances, my lessons have all been without a speck of falsehood. Come then, never once have I taught a pupil who would fall at such a place. And if you do, I don't suppose you're a pupil of mine anyway. I hate that I'm like actually starting to like this guy.
최고의 방책은 전쟁이 일어나지 않게 하는 것. 좋아, 구조를 파악했어. 중요한 건 내가 어떤 사람인지 알게 하는 거. 자, 알고 있는 걸 전부 말해. 봉황이 날개처럼. 전부 보인다고. 지도자라면 동료를 포기하지 않아.
Stagger. True decapitation.
그 해결사의 역경에 비하면
Resounding success. I actually did train her well.
승리의 보람과 세상의 아름다움에 대해 들어본 적 있는가? 없어도 전혀 상관없다네. 지금 우리가 보는 경치가
Hierarch Rescue Operation 3.
그런
Slashing.
것일 테니.
Okay. You need to switch to Blade Lineage. Actually... it's either Dawn Fixer. Yeah, Dawn Fixer. You're getting further in the back of the line. Everyone else should still mostly be fine, though.
필두, 출진.
Still cleared with the EXs. And Chichen's like completely fine on her own. Like, I'm actually really proud. Like, it's not like these are close matches. Like, no, she's doing well.
막아내지 못하리.
이 앞에 숨지는 자.
She's doing exceedingly well. Like,
완벽한 한 방.
she actually learned something.
효과적이네요. 이 방식을 기억하는 게 좋겠어.
대무로
Instrument show packs.
저 해충들을
이 거리는
구현해.
충분해. 너한텐 조금 멀겠지만.
사요. 짐승. 어째 이 정도 탕류에 허덕이나.
오, 기운이 솟는다, 단테. 가서 빨리 때려 눕히자고.
That one's dangerous, but if I turn that into a clash, we'll counter.
막아내지 못하리. 무상한 목숨. 불끈을 지원했군.
우와, 엄청난 공격이었어. 기념할 만한걸?
목을 떨궈주마. 고작 이 정도 탕류의 허덕이나 놈이 푸름을 틔울 수도 없겠구나.
아, 이런. 아무튼 놀라운 한방이네.
그쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데.
방금 전에는 굉장했다고. 베르겔 그 인간도 이건 인정할걸?
Still doing fine.
물어버리자고.
이 거리는 충분해. 너한테
So, now that the wave fight is over, I will say
한번
I am incredibly terrified of what I might see. Both of now, Wei and of Yisong. Because he has that ID now.
방금 전에는 굉장했다고. 베르겔 그 인간도
먹을
이건
확
인정할걸?
물어버리자고.
전격발.
거쳐.
That makes me wonder, that makes me really wonder if that ID actually if that counts as a G family. Because that means that it would have, no, it would. Because I think that's why Family Hierarch showed up for his trailer.
길을 열어라.
이 거리는 충분해. 너한텐 알겠지만.
일격에 저렇게나?
자, 어느 쪽일지 잘
So that way they still have synergy together, even if you don't have Lord of Hongwon. My arms are like so tired.
거쳐. 죽어.
Honestly though, like a hard fight like that first thing in the morning is really not what I anticipated. Not this early. That did wake me up though, at least a little.
저번에 약속한 거 안 잊었지, 죽은? 그 외에 임무를 성공적으로 100번만 수행하면 죽은? 설마 소유권을 벌써 다 쓴 거야? 말도 안 돼. 이건 약속이랑 다르잖아.
Why am I using notes for this? When a student becomes the master,
띵박질 시간.
중요한 건 내가 어떤 사람인지 알게 하는 것.
good afternoon, Yuki. It's afternoon to normal people. I'm still relatively waking up. She won that?
구슬을 파악했어. 꽃처럼 화려한 몸, 바람처럼 가볍지만 벌처럼 날카롭게.
And waterfall.
그 해결사의 역경에 비하면
She's really single-handedly taking this. That means two things. You really needed to train her well. Like, she's really in this for the long haul.
지도자라면 동료를 포기하지 않아. 꽃처럼 화려한 바람처럼 가볍지만 벌처럼
Shichin. Now that's impressively sneaky. So they're not beasts of Hongguan for nothing, eh? They just had to get between me and my people's spar, huh? Master, wait, you've been working for Shayachin the whole time? Haven't you known me for long enough by now to tell, brief as our acquaintances has been, my service is no one but the bottle. To have all 12 masters squeezed into battle when things were just starting to get interesting is quite discourteous, don't you think? Yeah, and a master stabbing his people in the back isn't. Just as Sinclair and the Night Drifter were locked in an argument, the Heisho beasts who followed us into a room swung their purple arms at Shai Shichin without hesitation. The slithering serpent arm would suddenly extended into a considerable length. Haven't I already given you due complaint, my friends? We're stopped inches from Shai Shichin's neck by the Night Drifter's arm, biting him instead. Now that's one potent venom. I can feel it spreading through my veins. Listen here, snakes. Haven't I done you courtesy enough? Go back to your holes. I'll even give you an excuse you could give to your lord. Say that you had to withdraw as the Night Drifter of the Drunken Palm got in your way. We serve the same client. Might as well let me take the blame for your failure, huh? I hate that I'm liking him. The Heisho wordlessly stood their ground. Fine, I didn't think you'd listen to someone who doesn't even hold your leash. Phooey. Too bad, too bad. Well, I suppose this should at least make for a fair fight, with all our teachers being here and all. You... I don't recall ever teaching you to make a face like that in front of an enemy. Fine. It's not like stopping one attack makes you our ally. At least one of my pupils knows what she's talking about. Perhaps I shall open myself a humble Wu Guan here in Hongguan once this contract is over.
오, 기운이 솟는다, 단테. 가서 빨리 때려 눕히자고.
So, she's gonna... Okay, she is part of this. But it's still focus and counter. She counts as G family, doesn't she? She does. It's gonna be really awkward when Ishmael gets the same speed as Shichin, or like approximately close, and they standing right next to each other. But regardless, that's for later. And he's targeting Ishmael, whatever. This one's just not going to be pretty, regardless of how I slice it. that case, actually... Because I can do that. Rodian can then take this. Gregor can attack whoever he wants. They're both struggling with this, though. 2 Gluttony or 2 Lust? Use the Lust skill so that it can... Okay, yeah, so then it's 2 Lust. Are these Heisho the only ones here? Okay, I'm gonna hope that they are. You're the dangerous one.
받아볼 텐가.
I can trust Shichin on her own in this fight.
이런 일이 생기면 안 돼.
진 목을 떨궈주마.
무상한 목숨. 불끈한 지원의 효과적이네요. 이 방식을 기억하는 게
That's the
좋겠어요.
unopposed attack, that's still fine.
좋아. 얼른 끝내고
She's raising her
방송을 가자고.
sanity. Who's taking this hit? Ishmael. Flashball counter. Still want this one dead. If I can take out the Heisho one by one, then this should be...
자, 알고 있는 걸 전부 말해.
She might end up carrying me.
진 목을 떨궈주마.
Perfect.
총알값 아까울 놈.
나이스! 하나 제꼈다.
And Lord of Hongwon. Alright. My Heisho packs. If she's fighting that one might just die. So I'll deal with this one instead. Gregor's kind of gonna be in a tight spot here. Rodian can attack that one. Then Ishmael deals with that one.
받아볼 텐가.
It's so close. She's killing Heisho in 2 hits.
숨통 끊기.
완벽한 한방. 시원한 걸.
전력으로 상대해봐. 전탄격발.
이 거리면 충분해. 너한텐 조금 멀겠지만.
Answer me, Heisho Pax.
저
이
해충들을
거리면 충분해.
보여내라.
너한텐 조금 멀겠지만.
사요. 짐승.
This is going really clean.
금방 끝내고 버스로 돌아갈 수 있겠다. 그치?
She's targeting the master again. A bunch of these are struggling. I want to see if I can just kill him off of that. Plus attacks are countered. I don't want to deal with that. I will apply extra pressure on you just in case. Actually,
받아볼 텐가.
yeah, because that's a defensive skill. But that's not gonna matter because you got staggered and death right.
와, 엄청난 공격이었어. 기념할 만한 걸. 무형. 마지막은 무념.
I trained her really well. I'm actually really proud.
씁쓸해. 생각보다 너무 거센데요?
많이 따가울걸요? 일단 데이면 상체에서 안 떨어질 테니까.
He's close to stagger.
방금 파도가 너무 거칠었던 탓에 치명상을 입은 동료가 생긴 것 같아.
How are you not dead?
확인해 보시는 게
Whatever.
좋겠는데.
Blind obsession. Ishmael's not being targeted by anything. That is all that I need to care about. All of these he has advantage on. He has advantage on all of them, then I can just hide one of my attacks in them. Or just have him deal with unclashables, unbreakable.
짐승들의 재갈을 풀겠다.
이 파도 속에서 움직일 수 있는 뭐지? 깨어져라! 모든 결과들은 파우스트가 알아요.
He has to be close to a stagger. It's still fine. Just stagger already, old man.
그쪽 방향이 아닐 텐데.
금방 끝내고 버스로 돌아갈 수 있겠다. 그치?
I am 120 away, so that's honestly not even too far. That's kind of bad on all those though. Does not trigger defensive skills, so he would go unopposed. Which might be exactly what I need. Yeah, I'm just gonna do this to secure. All these are hopeless. I also don't want to switch out a... No, I don't want to switch out.
짐승들의 재갈을 풀겠다.
무형. 마지막은 무념.
She staggered. He was certainly a powerful foe despite the casual way with which he carried himself. We'd already experienced a hint of his strength then, when he invaded our room during the family hierarch war and swiftly took out his target before leaving. There are slithering noises coming from above. More Heisho. We can't fight him and the sea branch off at the same time. But if we were to try and create a distance between us and where the sea branch are waiting to strike us, the Night Drifter will definitely try to exploit that opening. Considering that we had to keep Shichin safe, I wasn't sure how much longer we could hold out here. Is it hard to recall your training outside our lessons? Remember that your gaze is form as well. Your enemies will take notice if you don't stop constantly eyeing the door like a novice. See, the snakes have already mobilized to close off that exit. And you're stalling until the Heisho packs of the family hierarch arrive. Your strategies and thoughts are plain as day. You see, that's why. These snakes are so impatient to complete the deed and slink back into their holes. The Night Drifter produced another tree branch from his clothes, quickly cast it toward the doorway behind which the Heisho were gathered. And with a thwack, the heavy door atop the large door instantly crumbled, burning it and blocking off the snakes from entering. It was as though he hit an invisible weakness in of the brickwork. I thought I'd given you snakes enough warning to head back. What are you doing? Why? The bumbling hierarch's promise to bring real change to Hongwan has given rise to a certain intrusive thought that was put to sleep long ago. Once upon a time, a blade fiend of an infamous syndicate earned himself the hollow honor of joining the 10 Blades of the East. Yet what use is all that, if he could not prevent his little girl from passing on before her old man on a restructuring day? The world averted its gaze from me, so I looked away in return, leaving behind my rooms, my steel. I picked up a simple tree branch to be my sole companion as I drifted about the city. When I abandoned both my honor and name, all that remained was a life of living for the sake of living, nothing more. And I believe the same fate would doubtless come from the rotten land of Hongwan as well. Just as it had for this useless drunk, devouring it in the surging darkness as the sun falls yonder. Yet, doubt reared its head for the first time. It is the rooster's cry that signals the night's end. Do you see? The sun rises even in Hongwan. Listen well, for your final lesson begins. Emptiness of sound. Keep the venom within, and let it not leave your tongue. Emptiness of form. One who aims to bring change to these lands must do so without the knowledge of curmudgeons too lodged in wicked traditions to see a better path. Emptiness of mind. In Hongwan, a land where even the sky lies out of sight, do not let your mind be too transparent. Do not let the Heisho stray from your presence again, not even for a moment. Rule of fear is a detestable thing indeed, yet you will gain nothing by appearing like an easy mark. Yes, master. Then do what you must. It won't be very becoming of a hierarch of Hongwan to let live a fellow assassin who dared to make an attempt at her life. Shi-Chun wordlessly tightened the grip around her weapon. Very good. Emptiness makes for such a pleasant sight, doesn't it? The Night Drifter grinned, having caught the encroaching scent of death. Placid sleep is a completely unique one. Placid sleep, unrestrained read. She has to be the one to kill him.
모음, 모형, 마지막은 무념.
The Night Drifter stumbled. He smelled the pungent, bitter wine. When the unsieved dregs of old, cloudy wine settle, and the bitter life is left behind, the clear, crisp waters shall spring forth, twinkling under the sun's apricity. I hate that I liked him. That, like, he really did grow on me. The proof. Okay, thank God that there was no dungeon. But also, no, that's a really... Because now I want to almost go back and, like... I want to kind of undo what I said before when I streamed this. Like, not entirely. Now that, like, I have the entire event kind of, like, in view. Having all of that on one node is insane. Having, like, 3 to 4 hours of content on one node is insane. However, I really do like the payoff of all that training, like carrying forward for chapters, again, still in this intervallo, much later. Like, that's really, genuinely, like, really nice. Like, no, that was a really cool and genuine payoff. While still giving us a painful fight with Wei. The incident was quickly swept under the rug as independent actions of an anonymous, unaffiliated assassin only known as the Night Drifter. As he was not registered to any kind of life insurance plan, his body was buried among the many unnamed graves in Hongwan. I hear that there was a rather unsavory incident at the most recent exam. I must say, it is fortunate that no important blood has been spilled during it. A nameless, faceless man infiltrating the living quarters of Daganwan. I could only be glad that he met the deserved fate. Anyone who was at the site could attest to the fact that my guest and I were assaulted by Heisho, C branch as well. If anyone's going to be held responsible, don't you agree that the blame should fall squarely on whoever decided to send the snakes to that particular location at that specific time, Big Sister Yachin? Is that so? Yet they testify that their presence was only to eliminate the Drifter of the Night who dared sneak into Daganwan. Earlier than your own Heisho pack, even. Yeah, not only did you get me a new master, in your impatience to see my growth, asked that same master to harm me. You've certainly outdone yourself, sister. He was nothing more than a boorish executioner of Hongwan, who was willing to do anything for money. I hope you won't be blaming your dear sister for the crime that man has committed independently out of his own volition. Shichun, I believe this only reinforces my argument that the people of Daganwan aren't the only people here who believe that you are terribly out of your depth for the task. But Yanchin, I've learned so much thanks to you. Rest assured, I won't ever forget those lessons. I understand that many of you may be unhappy or frustrated with me, but you know what's an undeniable truth? That I am still the legitimate victor of the family hierarch war. Sure, Big Sister Yanchin might know more about the details of Hongwan's administration for now. She might fill your pockets for now, but in the long run, you know she doesn't have Hongwan's best interests at heart. Inadequate I may be, but I am still the chief executive director here at H Corp, and you, dear Big Sister, are a temporary visiting outsider from Q Corp. As its hierarch, I know exactly what Hongwan needs, and I'll give the best of my efforts to bring my vision for this land to reality. A place where no one needs to live in fear, a place where one does not need to project fear. Yes, that is my vision for Hongwan, for H Corp. I never would have known a month ago that our hierarch had such vast ambitions. She's really saying it. The four great houses and I, we ruled and knew this land like the back of our hands before you were even a fetus. Indeed, I can tell. I suppose that's why Dongguan's growth never seemed to stop, while more and more people outside it seemed to be falling to their deaths from their homes with every restructuring day. Don't you know the plastic nature of humanity? People will get used to the shadows when the heavens are shrouded. So if you won't cooperate with us, we will. No, I'm not the one who needs to cooperate. I am the hierarch. Besides, your us is done. Respected members of the board, I believe I've clearly explained my will. Forget about all of your under-the-table deals, and vote with your hearts. You seem very confident, Chi-Chin. In case you didn't know, winning those exams has nothing to do with guaranteeing the results of the vote of no confidence. Oh yeah? I don't know. At this point, the vote seems like a mere formality to me. On what grounds? Just a hunch. Not that you'd understand. It's true. With how often she's changing the conditions of these tests and votes, we can hardly trust her to be consistent. That is indeed in stark contrast with the Hierarch, who promised 30 days of return time and met it precisely on the dot. It is clear which one of them should provide more stability for administrative purposes. It's almost like having a very stable and consistent leader in what they say and what they do and what they believe is very beneficial in assuring. Thus the vote of no confidence began. I must have misjudged her in the past. She's not petty. She knows when to be serious, and I think she's got a good grip on the gravity of war without being consumed by the fear of it. And she remembered my name. With her eloquence, strategic prowess, and boldness, I believe that the current family hierarch is well qualified for her position. I also have faith that she will not ill-treat those of lower station than her. If she's got the handle of how to treat the heart of the smallest child, then I believe she has the capacity to tend to the hearts of those larger as well. While I would be remiss to judge so quickly, she has shown remarkable change and improvement over a short period of time. I say she is someone of rare talent we mustn't lose so easily. Oh my god. Shi Si Jing, Shi Hua Zhen, Wang Zuo, and Wang Qingshan. Zhu Pan omitted. She's been at the center of all kinds of fun, entertaining events in the world as I lost and gained and lost and gained my knack. Just think about the amusement she'll bring as the family hierarch. And even Zhu Pan, who shared his sentiments via a letter, voted against the motion of no confidence. Like I said, a mere formality. A state of crisis specifically refers to a situation in which the family hierarch is unable to perform their duties, or is affected by a serious physical or mental impairment. I am both sound of mind and body, and I can handle all duties appertaining to the seat of the family hierarch. Which means that your services are no longer needed here. Not that they ever were, big sister. Don't you think you've more than overstayed your welcome by now? She still has her same pointed tongue, but it's more refined now. Like, it's hard to describe because, like, part of the, like, especially this, a state of crisis specifically refers to a situation in which the family hierarch is unable to perform their duties or is affected by serious physical or mental impairment. I am both sound of mind and body, and I can handle all duties appertaining to the seat of family hierarch. This feels very influenced by Faust. This feels very influenced by Otis. Which means that your services are no longer needed here, not that they ever were, big sister. Like, the layering of saying, like, yeah, I'm capable of doing my job. Your services are no longer required here, not that they ever were to begin with, big sister. Like, the jab is very obvious. The jab is very obvious, but there's plausible deniability in the case of, like, her saying this. Because, like, even if she's challenged on not that they ever were, like, what do you mean by that? Oh, well, I was of sound mind and body before this, so clearly you weren't really needed to begin with. So you overstayed your visit here for no real reason. Just saying, in case you wanted to get back to your real home in Q Corp. Don't you think that you're more than overstayed your welcome by now? She's still politicking. She's getting better at politicking, I should say. She's just not as curt as she used to be. Here I was, wondering what you were doing with this ragtag group of half-witted nobodies like your brother. I suppose you didn't spend the whole month lounging around. Very well, savor this little victory for a while. I understand that it was a significant endeavor for you to attain it. Be safe on your way home, big sister. And please do watch your health. You've always been a sickly child come winter, haven't you? But remember that the only way is down once you've reached the peak. There goes the perfect opportunity to take control of Hongwan. She is fuming. But our time shall come. Hongwan without the Shi Huang worm will fall behind and get crushed under the wheels of progress. Then, nothing. Balyu said that he smells no fragrance from me anymore. Don't let that linger on your heart, little Bao Chai. Crawling in the muck alongside those lowly plebeians must have dulled with his senses. Am I even useful to you anymore? Balyu won't come back. I can't make him come back. I understand that now. At least not. Come with me to Q Corp. Huh? But even my own family has cast me out. What could I possibly do? Have I not given you my word that I can make him return? The strategies of old say that one must stir trouble in the east and strike from the west. Now that trouble has stirred in H Corp, they will hardly have the wherewithal to fix their eyes upon the goings of Q Corp. When the time comes, your fragrance shall spread beyond H Corp, to Balyu. I trust that he will never sit idly by when danger threatens Shai Shichen. But I have nothing. Poor little Bao Chai. Even you are blinded to the shadows cast by your own lamplight. Allow me to illuminate what use you may be to me. Worry not. I am your only remaining light after all, aren't I? You are. The little... With Shichun watching us, with an oddly bashful look, we prepared for our departure from Danganwan. Given that Mephistopheles still showed no signs of ever coming back, it seemed that we were to be assigned to various odd jobs around this area for a little while, not to mention the news of distortions occurring in H Court. We're finally leaving this place for real, huh? Shichun will be heading out soon. Yeah, whatever, get your butts out of here. Please, don't even think about looking back. Aww. Shichun exaggeratedly waves her hands to make us leave. Hey, if we ever get the chance... Yeah, fat chance. I'm sure we've both had more than our fill of each other for this lifetime. Besides, I'll be too busy to go anywhere for a while anyway. Well then, if you ever need our help, our line's always open. Hey, I'm the family hierarch. Who needs whose help now? You truly wear authority well now. Speaking of which, you still have to stay here in Hongwan, don't you? Did you find a place to stay? No, not yet. Why don't you just stay here for a little bit instead of going out there again and risk getting scammed? Yangwan's open, you know? Sure, can't get rid of us. Can't wait to get rid of us, but doesn't want to see us go. Oh my. For all that get out, go away, and don't even think about coming back. Seems to me you're pretty sad to see us go, aren't ya? Who said that? I'm just extending my generosity and giving you an opportunity to be more efficient. Remember your last attempt at finding lodging here? The whole building melted away. Anyways, I'll let everyone know that your party is free to enter and leave Danganron whenever you want. So use it if you want. She's so precious. After pelting us with a rapid-fire answer without giving us a second to reply, she whipped around and left to join Wei. Verily, to be an educator of another was the task most daunting. Did Alas even teach a proper class? Oh, don't tell me her class consisted of her showing off these figurine collections and forcing the students to sit through another one of them obscure lore summaries. Well, Heath, I sure hope you didn't let Sinclair completely walk all over you. I sure hope Rhodia didn't get shown up. Didn't totally get shown up in her own area of expertise. That's... Oi. Smoky lass with a penchant for abbreviation. How'd your class go? Smoky lass with a penchant for abbreviation. That's a way of describing Ryoshu, for sure. Tiru, thank you for the follow. Finally, like, got right to the end. You can't do this to me. I just fucking woke up. I can't keep saying that I just woke up. It's been almost 2 hours now, too. Hi, honey. Wait, that's not good enough. Hang on. Because I'm actually awake now, so this deserves, like, a real thing. Hi, honey. Better, but I'm not exactly super happy about it. Did you manage to teach him anything, or did you just abbreviate your way through the whole lesson? Speaking of which, don't think I've seen you smoking in a while. I was right about to point out that she didn't have her cigarette in her Sprite. No smoking in front of kids? Yeah, no smoking in front of kids. I remember you saying something about how it's totally against common sense to smoke in front of a kid. Speaking of which, you had some awesome tricks up your sleeve, Ryoshu. I never thought you'd know to do things like that. People learn when there's a need. I'm gonna eat so good during your kanto. Like when the game first came out, I was like instantly enamored with Ishmael, and she was the one I was waiting for easily the most. But then she came and went. But along the way, I will say probably since Kanto 2, Ryoshu has like been bubbling under the surface of easily my number 2 has the ability to overtake Ishmael and be my number 1. Ever since the classes began, Ryoshu started looking far off in the distance with an odd expression. Sometimes she'd hum a melody we hadn't heard of before. I'm gonna eat so good. I have to wait. I have to wait. Bummer we didn't get to sit in on each other's classes. It would have been nice to see different sides of everyone. We're gonna have a lot of stuff to talk about once we head back, huh? I really wasn't sure where I could possibly get started. Well, since Shichin's given us the option, let's head back to Hyongwon. You've seen them off with surprising stoicism, my lady. Haven't you been repeatedly eyeing their departure date on the calendar over and over with a look that could just as well be mournful? Gosh, that's because I couldn't wait to get those freeloaders off my back. Well, now that now that their company has departed, I suppose peace shall reign over Doggonwan for a while. My lady, I believe you are now prepared to stand alone against whatever trial that comes your way. Yeah, I know. I also know that I'll carry the lessons they've taught me in my heart for a long, long time. Aww. So, seating for... Oh, they finally... I guess they fixed it. The only stat that I didn't get to 800 was Z. But if I... there's still time for me to go back and do that. But the important thing... is finally permitted the roosters to come. I also do like that the Heisho seem to be based off the Chinese zodiac. Lord has finally permitted the roosters to crow. The time to exterminate the vermin infesting Hongwan has come. Because that now gives me like two things. That makes me very curious who would get a tiger. Mostly because personal bias. Very personal bias. But also I'm very curious who would get a rat. So now, if I wait next week, that I can get Yisong, still don't have... That also makes me very curious which Heisho Ishmael will become. Because of the fact that his does go up to 11, it implies that everybody else will get a Heisho. But we already have 2 serpents, 2 rabbits, no, 3 rabbits, 1 horse, 1 rooster. Oh, wow, I wonder, the egg. I wonder why Sinclair would get the rooster. Whatever. Now, actually, that actually made me think for like a brief moment. Gregor and Rodian both getting Sea Branch once it turns most into a monster. Sinclair gets the one that's a chicken, again, constantly connected with him being in an egg of being within his egg that he needs to break himself. I'm not sure what to piece together of Faust, Otis, and Ryoshu getting rabbits. But that's theory crafting and stuff for later. I am going to get something to eat. because I kind of had to wake up early just to immediately do this. Yeah, wait, you do have, yeah, you have Rupture and Burn. So you go here. Yeah. Thank you all for spending time with me. I hope you enjoyed yourselves. I am going to have a collab with Vice Rafana in 2 hours. I reposted the thing about it on Blue Sky. I'll make sure to also post about it in the Discord. Links to both of which are down below. And yeah, I need to go get something to eat, and I have other things to do. Overall, I retract a little bit of what I said the first time I streamed this. Like I want to say first half. Because I thought 4 was overly long. In the broader context of everything, it changes this Kanto to being very front-loaded. I'm still not sure how I feel about like 3 to 4 hours of content literally on just one node on its own, but granted, that's kind of like the equivalent of a dungeon, of like a full dungeon. Especially with all the story and writing and importance of that, and how that ends up carrying over for the other situations. I think that was actually really cool. This seems to be the thing that you would grind. Yeah, and if this is the thing that you grind, then like, yeah, no, that ends up going back to, like, yeah, you would want to do this to be smart for content. I like it. I like the minigame. I like how that actually has like a narrative payoff. I like how that has mechanical payoff. No, that's really cool. And like this is the first like minigame that they've really had for Limbus. No, I think this is a really good event. Really good. And now I guess we just wait for the Arknights collab. So yeah.
이 시간에 한 대 피워두지 않으면 나중에 태울 틈이 나지 않더군.
불로써 오물을
이 무기에 새겨진
Yeah, no, that's
문자는
it.
단순한
So,
장식이
yeah.
아니다. 교사의 주박이 새겨진 일품이지.
Take care, have a wonderful rest of your morning, noon, and night, no matter when you're watching this, and I guess see you maybe in 2 hours. So, Johnny.